not living in. Sir, are you living in Utah County at this time?
Yes.
Yes.
I find to have jurisdiction to go forward. Ma'am, because he desires to have a protective order enter against you, that gives you certain options. Listen carefully to what your options are. You can stipulate to the entry of a protective order without a finding of fault. You can say, I'm not admitting I've done something wrong, but if he wants a protective order, he can have it. Your other option is to stipulate to the entry of a protective order with a finding of fault. You can say, yes, I have done something that would justify the entry of a protective order, and therefore he can have it. We can have a hearing. If we have a hearing, then I will have him tell me why he believes he's entitled to a protective order. I will give you an opportunity to respond, but then I will be the one who decides whether or not a protective order enters. And if I decide that it enters, it always enters based on my finding of fault. Lastly, if you do not feel you're prepared to go forward today on one of the options, you can ask for a continuance. Because you ask does not mean it would be granted. I would have to hear from the petitioner, and then I would decide whether or not I would grant a continuance. Ma'am, do you understand what your options are?
Yes.
What would you like to do?
Be able to listen and being able to respond.
So you would like a hearing?
Yes.
Thank you. Sir, tell me why you're entitled to a protective order.
Bueno, la cuestión es de que tenemos más de año y medio separados.
You know, the thing is that we have
Y
been over a year and a half
en este
separated.
tiempo todavía la señora me ha seguido molestando,
You know, and she has continued
tanto
during all this time
como
to
con
Más despacio, por favor.
me ha seguido molestando con textos. La última ocasión se presentó a agredirme en casa.
You know, she has continued bothering me through texting, and last time she came to my house to bother
Entonces,
me.
ese es el motivo por el cual yo pido esta orden para que pues tanto ella como yo podamos vivir tranquilos.
And that is the reason that I'm requesting these orders, so myself as well as herself could continue living in peace.
When did she come to your house?
A finales de noviembre, principios de diciembre.
You know, towards the end of November, beginning of December.
What happened when she came to the house?
Yo no precisamente en la casa, sino sobre la calle. Yo estaciono mi carro afuera de la calle.
You know, not precisely to my house, I mean to the street where I park my car.
Entonces yo salí a calentar mi carro porque me iba a trabajar.
So I went outside to warm up my car because I was getting ready to
Entonces
go to work.
la señora llegó, la verdad yo no la vi. Yo tenía la puerta entreabierta porque tenía mi pierna afuera.
And then she
Llegó,
came,
me
I
abrió
couldn't
la
really
puerta
see her because the door was
y
halfway open. She
empezó a
opened the
agredir.
door and she started assaulting me.
Me agredió y me empezó a calumniar
She
y
started
a
calling
decirme
me,
cosas que pues la verdad no vienen.
saying
O sea,
things to me.
ya teníamos mucho tiempo.
What do you mean by she assaulted you?
¿Qué quiere decir cuando yo me agredió?
Me dio un golpe entre la cara.
She hit me,
Bueno, en esta parte pero como yo traía la gorra.
she struck me in this part of the face,
Ajá.
but I had my hand
Entonces,
on.
pues me peleaba una cadena que a mí la relación que hoy tengo me había regalado.
She was, you know, she was fighting, she was asking for a chain means that, the person I'm with right now gave it to me.
Sí, entonces, de tanto que estaba, me agarró mis lentes que traía en el visor, traía yo unos lentes, ajá, sí, en el espejo.
Okay, and so she grabbed some, glasses that I had on my rear view, mirror.
Ajá, entonces me los tiró al piso
She threw them
y
to
los
the ground
pisoteó.
and stepped on
Los
them.
pisoteó y me dijo que iba a ir, agarró y caminó hacia los departamentos donde ahora vivo y me dijo que iba a ir a maltratar a la señora con la que vivo, que es mi
So
pareja.
she said she was gonna go to the apartment that I'm residing now with the person I'm living with.
Ajá, entonces en ese momento yo lo que hice fue cerrar mi vehículo y jalarme, irme.
So what I did at that time, I just closed, my car door and I left.
Y
Thank you. Ma'am, would you like to respond to this allegation?
Yo lo llamaba y le texteaba.
I would call him and I would text him.
Sí, realmente, porque
Yes, I did.
tenemos un carro que compramos en común.
Because we had a car that we had purchased together.
Igual que él, no cumplió un contrato de renta conmigo.
He did not meet the contract
For
that he did with me. He did not,
Por un año.
for a whole year.
Yo le llamaba porque yo llamé para financiar el carro o regresárselo a él.
So I called him so we can talk about financing the car or returning the car to him.
Y él no respondió, nunca contestó.
He would not respond to me and he never answered the phone.
Sí, me acabé, sí, me enojé.
Yes, I did get upset. I was mad.
Mi trabajo permanece aquí, Oren, Lehigh.
My work still here in Orange, in Lehigh area.
Ese día yo fui a retirar a una empleada, una
So-
compañera.
So that day I gave a ride to a coworker.
Cuando yo lo miré y quise hablar con él, y él me corrió,
Then
y
I
él me maltrató.
saw him and I wanted to talk to him and he's the one that, asked me to leave and he's the one that mistreated me.
Quiso hablar nada conmigo.
He didn't want to talk to
Me
me
enojé.
at all.
Me alteré.
I was upset. I
Los
was
lentes se
stressed.
cayeron, se rompieron,
The
pero
glasses
no
did,
los pisé.
the glasses did fall down, but I did not step on them.
Eso fue lo que pasó.
And that's what happened.
Thank you.
No sé si puedo yo contrademandar o que él me solucione el problema.
I mean, I don't know if I can understand him or he could, find a solution with his car.
A mí él no me interesa, no lo quiero volver a ver,
I mean, I'm not interested in him, I don't want to see him again.
solo quiero solucionar un problema de un carro que yo no pedí, que yo no exigí, que yo no,
You
que él
know,
prometió pagarlo todo el tiempo y él no ha pagado nada.
I just want to resolve this issue with his car that did not ask for it, that I didn't want it. I just want to find it, just fix the issue with that.
Traigo un contrato de renta y traigo todos los sistemas del pago de
I
la
have
renta.
the contract of the sale and all the, payment contracts that we did together.
Yo quiero
Thank you.
sacarlo a él para no volverlo a ver jamás.
Because I have a contract with him. So I want to, take him out of the contract, so I don't have to contact him anymore, I don't want to talk to him.
Por esa razón yo lo busqué.
Thank you.
That's the
I
reason
understand.
for him.
I have no jurisdiction over the car.
You don't really seem to like
This is not a divorce.
the divorce.
As far as I can tell, the parties were never married.
Lo que puedo decir hasta que no estuvieron casados.
Conspicuous by its absence is a denial from you, ma'am, that you hit the petitioner as he claimed when you approached. You do admit that you were angry? You do admit that you approached him?
Yes.
That is the basis for the entry of a protective order? I'm granting the petitioner a protective order. I'm leaving the temporary protective order in place until such time as you can be served with the permanent protective order. Ma'am, I can have the people with the khaki shirts and guns come to where you are and hand you the protective order. Or the court can mail it to you, and you can be considered served 3 days after you get it, or 3 days after it's mailed. Would you prefer that I have it served upon you, or would you prefer to accept service by mail?
So they're giving me the they're giving me the protective order. So what's gonna happen with this?
With the car?
Yes.
You and he have all your legal rights to resolve the car as you might. I have no jurisdiction over it and no authority to act upon it. I have granted him the protective order, and you are bound by the terms of the temporary protective order until you're served with the permanent protective order, and the permanent protective order will be consistent with the temporary protective order. Because you have not stipulated to service by mail, the permanent protective order will be served upon you. We have very slow elevators in this building. Therefore, I do not allow petitioners and respondents to leave at the same time. I don't favor petitioners over respondents or respondents over petitioners. It is the respondent's turn to leave first. Ma'am, you're to leave the courtroom, you're to leave the courthouse, you're to leave the courthouse parking lot. Sir, you're to remain within the courtroom for 5 minutes after she leaves. When she's been gone 5 minutes, then you're excused. I anticipate having the written protective order completed within the next few days, and we will send it out for service on the respondent. Ma'am, the protective order that's already been served upon you is still valid. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Thank you. You're excused from the courtroom, so you can have a seat in the audience. Good luck to the parties.